they said we've tried everything we can. We're gonna have to have a C-section.
Hey guys, so we are here today, just chilling in the pool.
She got me back again.
The end of this month is Mila's birthday. I decided to talk to you guys about her labor and delivery story. So let's just jump right in.
You always just want to jump right in. But first of all, Mila was way too late. Yeah, that's how you was.
She was way too late.
You know what they say? The baby ain't ready till the apple seeds drop.
Okay, so I went in on Thursday. It was a Thursday. They gave me a pill, and that started the process of
That would be labor.
And so,
Well, that's because we scheduled an induction. Did you talk about the induction?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Wow.
So because she was a whole week late, I had to get induced. By the end of the day, I was only
She's like 2 centimeters, yeah.
Unfortunately. And then so they stopped the pill because they thought that I was going to be going into labor and naturally, and then they decided to start the pill again the next day. This whole time I was like catching up on shows, eating chocolate, and just living my best life and having meals delivered to me. The best part of being in the hospital all the time was having lunch, dinner, breakfast delivered to me all the time, and I didn't have to worry about it.
Literally. She look at the clock and say, 11:55, at least I know food's gonna be here in 5 minutes.
The next day, they started me on the pill again, and I was only probably 3 centimeters dilated, if that.
Next day they warned us, they said, you know what, all right, here we go. We're gonna give you an IV drip. It's gonna be Pitocin. That's gonna be the real deal. Now, when we give you this drip, it's going to start, so you need to be prepared. They gave her all the labor tips, you know, the breathing tips, the focus on one spot tips while the cramps are happening. I mean, not cramps, contractions are happening. So she was ready. So they turned on the Pitocin drip, and she's like, all right, here we go.
Before this, the whole time I was like running up and down the stairs, walking all around, just trying to get Mila to drop.
So they turned the dosage out, and they turned the dosage to 4, you know, nice and mild. And Dallas is like, I don't feel anything. You're like, that's weird. And so then they turn it up to like 8. And she's like, I still don't feel anything. They're like, By now, women would usually feel like something and be in a lot of pain. And they put up to like 12. And then they're like, okay, it's so weird you don't feel anything, because by now, women are literally in agonizing pain. And
they showed, like, they monitored me, so the contractions were showing on the computer screen.
Yeah, so she was having contractions. She
but
just
I wasn't feeling
them. Which is strange. And so then they keep turning it up, and the highest you could go to was like 30. They had it at like 26 dosages. And they were like, no woman has ever been like that high before, because that's insane. And so finally at like 26, she get like a solid contraction. And then she felt that for maybe like a couple of times, and then that night, like next day.
Yeah. That night was rough.
Yeah, what happened was
I was in pain like most of that night, and you don't really remember it because I only thought that I was in pain for like a couple minutes, but Kyle said I was in pain for like a couple hours, but you don't remember it after you have the baby, which is really weird.
You got the epidural.
And then I had an allergic reaction to that.
By the way, seeing an epidural done is very scary. So they gotta stick that right down the middle of your back. So her back literally, and I thought, okay, just sit up straight and stick it. But they literally is like, you have to bend over and hold a pillow and hunch over like that, and they gotta stick it right in the middle of your back. Very weird. Very tough.
It was kind of painful, but at the end worth it. But I had an allergic reaction, and I started itching all over, like nonstop, and then I started to feel like I wanted to throw up, and so they gave me medication for it, but that medication didn't work, and I threw up like a ton, like a bag like this long or something. It was crazy.
Yeah. Stop when you're supposed to have a contraction, you take a break, contraction and break, contraction and break. But she wasn't really breaking. She wasn't getting the break because the doses were so high. And so literally like an hour she went by with like one huge long contraction. She was freaking out. And so then the doctor came and turned the machine off, and then it died down. And then it turned it back up to like 4 because then the contractions just completely stopped. She wasn't having a contraction. And when you're having a contraction, that's what pushed the baby down, because she wasn't having to push the baby down. So the next day, they said, you know what we're going to do after the doctor come in, he's going to come break your water. And so they still had you on small doses, still contractions from nothing crazy. The doctor came that night and broke her water. She was at 5 centimeters when he broke her water. So he's like, okay, so that means by the next morning we should have our child. He breaks her water, and within 45 minutes, she's at 6 centimeters, and we're like, oh, solid, that's a win. We going places. Baby coming tonight. She stopped dilating. She maybe got to like 7 centimeters all night. And so what happened was her cervix was swollen, and
if I got to 8 centimeters, then I could have started pushing.
Yeah.
So close.
So close. And so anyway, Mila's head was starting to swell because her head was sitting right on the cervix for so long without the water being there anymore because the water was burst. They said, we've tried everything we can. We're going to have a C-section. They prep her for surgery. They prep me. They give me all the scrubs. And I had my J's on, so I was a doctor with Jordans, so I was fresh.
The catheter was the worst part of getting prepped for surgery. That hurt a lot. They had to take off my nail polish that I had just got done. Once I got inside the room, so thirsty, but before then I was like, okay, I'll wait until the surgery is over. They said it'll only take a few minutes. They told Kyle that they'll call him to come in once everything's ready or whatever. And so they had me in there. They gave me the epimorph. The surgeon was in there, and then I guess he cut me open because Kyle came in after I was cut open. And by that time, I was feeling pressure, and I guess it was from the medication, but I was feeling pressure on my chest, and I felt like it was hard to breathe. And so that's the main thing I was focusing on that whole time, like just trying to breathe. And I was also so thirsty, and they couldn't give me anything. And I was like, I need water. I'm gonna die. I need something. They called Kyle in, and I was basically telling Kyle, like, Kyle, I can't breathe, like I need water. So when they started to pull Mila out, I really started feeling it, and I was like, no, I feel that, like you can't do that anymore. So they paused for like 3 minutes and was like, okay, we're gonna just give you some more epimorph and the maximum dose, and then we'll try again. I could still feel it. They tried again, like after a few minutes, and then I was like, I could still feel that. So they said they're gonna have to put me to sleep. And at that point, they sent Kyle out of the room. They told him he had to leave, and I was just telling him, like, I can't breathe. Then he asked how the baby was, because I was cut open for a while, and they couldn't really answer that. So he was like freaking out. And then when he had to leave, he was freaking out even more.
I was freaking out, dog.
Yeah. They put me to sleep. 3 minutes later, Kyle heard Mila cry, and I didn't wake up for like another 30 minutes. But Mila was fine. Thank the Lord. That's all I wanted. My mom, my sister, and Kyle was the first people to see her, and I didn't see her until later. That's my labor and delivery story.
It was 6 days of craziness.
6 days. I would definitely do it all over again for this little one. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, do all that. Peace and love. Thanks for having me.